In today's video, we're going to do a Raycon E25 unboxing and review, so stay tuned. Hey, I'm Walt from Live Streaming Tech, and today I'm going to unbox the Raycon E25s and also do a review. I've owned these now for about a week. I'm going to go ahead and first show you the unboxing and then give you my take on these earbuds on whether or not they are worth it for you. Okay, so as you see here, the box is pretty much, this is the way it was delivered to me. Obviously I cut the tape off and whatnot. The inner box is pretty sharp looking. Nice packaging. It's pretty sturdy. It's well packed. Nothing loose, nothing jumbling. Let me go ahead and cut the tape off. Now these are the E25, the Raycon E25 Titanium Special Editions. The only reason why they're special edition is just because of the color, the titanium color. What we have here is we have the instruction manual. It kind of comes in a nice little sleeve there. Has your warranty information, your support, how to get a hold of them in case you have any issues, quick starter guide, how to charge the device, and then of course the propaganda, the next wave, E25. Okay, as you see, we have now the carrying case, and right here in the little box, I do believe we're going to find the charging cord. Now this is pretty much a standard charging cord. This is like for the older Android phone charging cords. Unfortunately, it is not the C-type. So those of you who have the newer Android phones that have the C-type, you are going to find that you have to use the older cords. I have a bunch laying around, so it's not a big deal. When it comes with the silicone tips, you do have like small, medium, large, and extra large. Or I think it might be even extra small, small, medium, and large. I don't know. I know that I usually have to go with the smaller ear tips when it comes to these inner ear headphones or earbuds. I have small ear canals, and I find if I go with like a medium, they fit nice and snug, but after wearing them for a while, they tend to get off. Well, obviously I couldn't get those last two out. I just said, forget it. But typical silicone ear tips, nothing fancy. And of course the case, it is the same color as the earbuds. The case is kind of cheap plastic. It's kind of cheaply made. There's where you plug in your cord to charge them. They are pretty easy to open. Even one of my coworkers, they found this laying on the desk during one of my shifts, and they were looking at them, and that was the first thing they said was they thought that it would come like in a metal case, or at least a sturdier case. They are very lightweight, and there's the titanium color, and obviously it comes with silicone tips already installed on them. I'll be changing those out later. They are labeled left and right, which is good for dummies like me who obviously would try to stick the right one in the left ear and the left ear in the right. So I'm glad they labeled that. And there is a magnetic holder in the case, so they plop down in. And as you see, I drop it there, and obviously the magnets are not strong enough to hold them in. Held one of them in, but not the other. The other kind of plopped out. So the magnets are strong, but not strong enough. If you were to drop the case, they would come out. But if the case is open, you can hang them upside down and they're not going to fall out. So that's pretty much the case. Okay, so here's the thing. This is not a paid endorsement. I am not endorsed by Raycon whatsoever. I know a lot of people would sit there and go, okay, wait a minute. He's going to do pros and cons. He's giving us pros. So obviously he's paid or sponsored some way. I am not paid or sponsored by Raycon. This is my honest opinion. Now, at the timing of this video, we paid $79.99 for these limited edition titanium E25s. So the thing is the pros. Let's go ahead and get the pros out of the way. Number one, they're sharp looking earbuds. I gotta say, they're nice and clean looking. I love the color. I love the fact that once again they have the left and right ear printed on them, so you're not going to be sticking them in the wrong ear. I'm just in love with the titanium color. I just love it. My youngest son, he has a pair of white ones, and he loves them as well. I didn't like the white color. To me, you know, I just thought knockoff when it comes to like Apple. The matching case is pocket friendly. I do like that. So when I'm going to the gym, I literally just slide this in my gym pocket, or I slide it in my gym bag. It doesn't take up a lot of room. But it is cheaply made. That is the one thing. I've heard other people complain about this. And once again, like I said, one of my coworkers even stated that they thought at the $70.99 price point, they thought that the case would be built a little bit better. However, I'm not so hung up on this. I'm more hung up on the fact that, does it fit in my pocket? Is it going to, you know, like edges are going to dig in. The edges are nice and rounded. So really, you don't really notice it in your pocket. This could be a problem, because if they were to fall out of your pocket, you probably would never notice that they fall out. The 6 sets of silicone tips, varying in size. Once again, like I said, I really can only wear the small silicone tips. So really having all these different tips isn't necessarily a pro point for me, but because the fact that they did have the smaller ones that fit my ear canal, I was happy with that. Because the fact that they have the different size tips, and that they are lightweight and form-fitting, they're nice and smooth, there's no really hard edges on the E25 earbuds, that they are comfortable to wear for long periods of time. My store doesn't open for 2 hours when my shift starts, so usually I pop these bad boys in and I go about my work, and I really don't notice that they're there other than this blaring music in my ears. That leads me to the last pro, which is they are loud enough to block out any background noises. And this is great in the gym that I go to. They like to pump out a lot of techno dance music, that iHeartRadio kind of stuff. I mean, obviously, if you like that kind of stuff, you know, kudos to you, but I don't. I like to listen to loud screaming music that get me pumped up. And go ahead and drop in the comments, do you even lift, bro? Yeah, I go ahead and I try to lift at my age. But that's the thing. I don't want to hear that music. I want to get in my own zone and focus on what I'm doing. And as far as using them at work, it's great because it blocks out a lot of people that are jibber jabbing, and I really don't want to hear them talk at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's a good way for me to drown out those noises, focus on what I need to get done at work, and get my job done. Cons. Yeah, here we go. All right. The sound balance feels a bit off. Now, I listen because of the fact that they are Bluetooth. I sync them to my phone, and I have the Amazon Music Unlimited, so I can listen to full-length albums, whatnot. I can create playlists, so on and so forth. And luckily for me, there is an EQ, a pretty decent EQ built into that app. So I can kind of balance them out. But if I was listening to, say, something that didn't have like an EQ built into it or whatnot, you are going to have this weird sound to it. It's not super horrible, and I could probably live with it, but I tend to like that scoop sound. I like to have that high bass, high treble, drop the mids, and that works perfect for me once I got that EQ dialed into the way I want it. Compared to what I already own. Okay, so this is where we're gonna go from cheap to most expensive. So first off, I paid $0 for these. These were given to me by a coworker and good friend, and she knew that I needed headphones. And here's the sad thing about it. This case is made a heck of a lot better than this Raycon case. Now, as you see though, it is quite larger in perspective, but these sound like garbage. Once again, I didn't pay a dime for these. I used them maybe like 5 or 6 times before I said enough of that. That these were just horrible sounding. It sounded like I was listening to music through a coffee can. But once again, like I said, the sad thing about it is even though I didn't pay nothing for it, and they were probably a promo item for her as well, so she paid nothing for them. The case is sturdy, it's well made, and I mean, I like how it opens. I mean, I like the look of it. It's a little too big for my pockets. I mean, I could slide in my pocket, but compared to the Raycon, it's a better built case, which is kind of sad. All right, the next one up, I did pay for these. These are the ONN wireless sport earphones. So they don't call them earbuds, but they are earbuds per se. They go in there, and I like these because the fact that they hook around your ear. The only thing that I had to get used to was having this wire hang around in front of my neck or behind my neck. And once I got used to that, these were not a bad option. I paid $39.99 for these at the time of the purchase. And once again, they kind of relate to these, where they sound slightly better than these, but if it wasn't for the EQ, these would terribly hurt. Like the mids are super high on these, so it's almost like they have zero bass and zero treble. It's just, it seems like the mids are just cranked naturally on these per se. So once again, I like that scooped sound, high bass, high treble. So the EQ usually took care of these as well. These usually I got about a 4-hour charge time on these, where these here I got maybe an hour and a half out of them. Like I said, these were very cheaply made, but once again, $39.99, not bad. Actually, I still use these every now and then, because we'll get to that point here in a little bit. On the higher end of the spectrum, now at the time of purchasing these are the Powerbeat 3s. I purchased these probably about a year ago, and they were going at that time for $89.99, so $10 more than what the Raycon E25s are. And I have to say, once again, I'm not paid or sponsored by Beats by any way, but these are far superior. The only difference on these is the comfortability. They do have the ear loops, which I like. Once again, they have that annoying little wire that goes around your neck, because that's the thing. It's like if I want to go Bluetooth, I don't want a wire or whatnot hanging there, but you do get used to it, and the sound is far superior. And that goes to, you know, as far as the cheap versions and the Raycon. This smokes and blows them out of the water for $10 more. And matter of fact, I think just before taping this yesterday, I looked at the price on Amazon. I think they're going at $79.99 right now. So literally, you can pick up a pair of Powerbeats 3 and at the same price of the Raycons. Once again though, if you're not fond of having the ear clips to hold them on and that wire that hangs down, you know, at the same price you can go with the Raycon, where you have no wire and you have nothing hanging around your ears. So that leads me to the last con, because the fact that this doesn't have like an ear loop to hold it in my ear, and I really don't want to go up to the medium size silicone tips, because it tends to put too much pressure in my inner canal, and over long periods of time it does make it quite uncomfortable to wear. The problem is if you are doing strenuous exercise or you're moving around a lot at work or whatnot, these will fall out of your ear. And the first time it happened to me at the gym, I was actually kind of embarrassed. It went bloop. It was almost like a tooth fell out of my mouth. That's the only way I can, not that I've ever had a tooth fall out of my mouth, but if for one were to happen, that's what it felt like, because it fell out of my ear, went bouncing around, rolled around on this dirty, nasty floor. So I had to stop what I was doing, clean it off before sticking it back in my ear. So that is the drawback on not having the little ear loops. Then again, that's me splitting hairs. Here's the thing. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. I feel the proper price should be around $49.99. Yes, I'm saying that they should be priced around the same price point as these ONN wireless sport earphones. The reason being is I can get another pair of Powerbeats for the same price, because once again, like I said, I've kind of gotten used to wires hanging around my neck, and I like the ear clips. So the thing is would I go out and buy another pair of Raycon E25? Probably not. I would probably actually invest a little bit more money and go with the Raycon E25s, the ones that Dale owns, because he claims that the sound is a little bit more superior. Now here's the thing, they're loud. I am not going to deny that. These suckers are loud. I usually, when running the Powerbeats, I crank the Powerbeats. I've cranked these and cranked these to the max, because that's the thing. I like to block out all that background sound. Where here on these, I'm usually maybe 2 steps away from cranking them out, and it blocks everything out. So, and they do hold a great charge. I think I've used them consistently maybe for like 4.5 hours before charging them again. I haven't used them to where they've died, so I couldn't tell you, you know, how much more time you're going to get out of them. But at that volume and at that consistent use, I think that's a pretty good deal. But once again, I'm thinking the price point should be closer to $49.99, and that's just because they could have done a little bit better on the case. I think the case could be a little bit better made, and it's just me splitting hairs when it comes to the sound. That's the thing. Everyone's sound is different. It's whether you like Coke or Pepsi. Here's the thing. Some people like Pepsi. I think it tastes like trash, where I love Coke, and you might be the type of person that loves Pepsi and hates Coke. So that's the thing. Sound is always going to be to the beholder. And I think they could have done a little bit better when dialing in that sound or balancing the sound when it comes to the Raycon E25s. So hopefully that helps you out. But what's really going to help you out is if you check out this video here, where we show you how to clean either the Raycon E55s or the E25s, or you can check out this video here that YouTube recommends you watch. Until then, I'll see you soon.